Have you ever felt like you're constantly dealing with problems and no matter what you try, they just keep coming back? What if I told you that the way you approach your personal development can make all the difference in how fast you overcome those obstacles? I'm Naeem. I'm the founder of Peak Humans. I've delivered over 1,000 talks and impacted over 50,000 lives. And today, I'm going to talk to you about a topic that many people are confused about: therapy versus coaching, and how focusing on solutions can unlock your transformation faster than you think. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on any valuable insights or new videos. And if you're ready to stop focusing on problems and start transforming your life, text Peak Human to 415-413-7426 or email team@peakhumans.io to join the waitlist for my Peak Performance Mastery program. Let's jump in. Let me start by saying this: therapy's not bad. In fact, I've had therapy myself, and I've also trained therapists in our coaching certification program. So I'm not here to bash therapy, but rather to explain the difference between therapy and coaching and how they approach your growth and well-being. Therapy, much like the Western medical system, tends to focus on diagnosing and treating problems, whether it's mental health issues, trauma, or unresolved emotional challenges. Just like how doctors focus on disease and symptoms, therapists often focus on what's wrong, what's broken, and how to fix it. Now, this isn't to say that therapists aren't doing valuable work. There are great therapists, just as there's great doctors who can help people heal and move forward. Therapy has its place, especially when you need to process deep issues, trauma, or long-standing mental health challenges. But the key difference here is that coaching takes a different approach. Because if you think about it from a neuroplasticity perspective in your brain, if you press buttons that create depression, anxiety, fear, sadness, you will activate those feelings in your body. And I could also at the same time literally press the buttons that create gratitude, excitement, ambition, determination, courage, compassion. And that's literally just deciding to shift your focus and training your body and your mind to do that. Now, you might even think that's so simplistic, but you could literally do this. I've worked with clients that say they're depressed, but they're not always depressed. Sometimes they're depressed, but then I can make them laugh. If you could laugh even for a second, that means you could laugh longer. You could be joyful longer. It's just a habit that you've trained yourself to get into these other states more regularly than the states you might want to, such as joy, happiness, gratitude, excitement. Now, what I propose is there's definitely cases where people have medical things going on and have really, really deep stuff. But I think most of society, we've leaned way too much to that, right? Automatically, like, oh, they need a therapist. This person has some sort of serious trauma, and they start giving antidepressants and drugs, which don't even help anyway. I'm just saying we need to lean the scale back. There might be still a percentage, more like 5%. Now it's like 50 and 60% of people that are kind of in that category of like, I need to be fixed. There's something wrong with me. And they just keep going down this rabbit hole when literally all they got to start doing is going to the gym of their mind and their emotions and their nervous system and start shifting their habits. Same with working out, right? People work out, but they get stuck in, oh, I need to figure out the perfect workout program, the perfect nutrition program. No, it's like you just got to start working out and stop eating sugar, start eating more salad. Keep it simple. Complexity is the enemy of execution. And most people, again, our brain is a wild creature. It makes things complex for us on purpose as a defense mechanism, as an escape from solving the bigger problem. So in coaching, the focus isn't on what's wrong, it's on what's right, what's possible, and what you want to create in your life. It's about focusing on your desired outcomes, your goals, and the solutions that will get you there. In coaching, we don't dwell on problems, we focus on progress. Now, this is a mindset shift that can radically change your approach to growth. What you focus on, you become. And if you're constantly focused on your problems, your mind starts to reinforce those problems. You're essentially giving them more power over your life. But when you shift your focus to what you want to achieve, your brain starts working on solutions, and that's where change happens. And there's something fascinating that happens. When you stop focusing on your problems, they naturally begin to fall away. Problems need energy to live. This is like a process known as neural pruning or synaptic pruning, where your brain essentially prunes away unnecessary or outdated neural connections that no longer serve you, right? If I stop working out my bicep muscle, over time it's gonna get more and more atrophied and smaller and smaller and smaller. So when you stop feeding energy to problems and you start focusing on solutions, you begin to strengthen the neural pathways that support your goals, your desires, and your growth. Same with eating. Instead of trying to stop eating sugar if you have a sugar addiction, right? Or instead of trying to stop drinking alcohol, just start eating more salad. Just eat a bunch of salad all day. You will stop eating sugar. It's gonna crowd out the sugar you have time to eat, let alone, and it's gonna make your body feel so good anyway, you're not gonna want the sugar. Same with alcohol. Instead of trying to stop drinking alcohol, whatever resists persists, try to drink way more water, drink green tea, drink other things that are actually good, nourishing, and healthy for your body, not poisoning your body. So this is where coaching can be so powerful, because instead of spending sessions analyzing what went wrong or what's holding you back, which is what happens a lot of times in therapy. I have friends that are in therapy for years and all they do is talk about their problems. And again, I've done this too. I've done therapy out of curiosity and I've had problems too. And I still have problems. It's part of life having problems. But the therapy, if you're just talking about your problems, you're just building that muscle of the problem. I didn't solve any of my problems in therapy. I just learned more about my problems in therapy and I became I had a PhD in my problem. You ever know anybody that has like a PhD about their problem? They know everything about their problem. And if you actually try to help them with their problem, they will attack you. And that's a whole nother video where it's the 6 human needs, where people are actually addicted to their problems because it meets their needs. So instead of spending sessions analyzing what went wrong or what's holding you back, coaching is about building on what's working and reinforcing your strengths and creating a path forward that's solution focused. It's about shifting your mind. Hey buddy, this little dog is here. Okay, so it's about shifting your mindset so you can stop rehashing your problems and start moving towards what you truly want. Now imagine for a moment if you stopped worrying about every obstacle, every setback, and instead channeled your energy into solutions. What would that do for your confidence, your productivity, and your sense of fulfillment? That's the power of focusing on solutions over problems. I call it, are you in problem frame, which is 95% of the world, 99% of the world? Problems, what's the problem? What's wrong with me? Who's to blame? Whose fault is it? Why isn't this working? That's problem frame. Those are not empowering questions. Outcome frame, how can I make it better? How do I want to be different? How can I take a step forward today? Big difference, huge. And I used to be in problem frame. And I used to be going down these rabbit holes. Even now I could go there. I'd be like, why isn't this working? And you will literally, your brain is like AI. It will come up with answers even if it's not true. So if you're ready to make this shift in your own life and unlock solutions that rather than staying stuck in place in the problem cycle, I want to invite you to my Peak Performance Mastery program. In this program, we're going to dive into the mindset tools, strategies, and coaching techniques that help you focus on what you want, not what's been holding you back. To join, text Peak Human to 415-413-7426 or email team@peakhumans.io to join the waitlist. My friends, don't let problems dictate your life. Focus on your outcome, your solutions, what you want, and watch your life transform. Now, before we wrap up, remember, subscribe to the channel down below for more insights on how to unlock your full potential. And if you're stuck in a cycle focusing on problems, today is the day to change that focus and start building the future you deserve. Let's unlock your peak potential together. I'll see you inside the program.